All right, let's make a clear Santorini tote. I'm going to show you how easy it is. I'll do the purse size since I have my templates here. My straps are going to be this jacquard 2-inch wide webbing. I need 3 yards just to be safe. Unless you don't want to wrap it all the way around, you could use less than that. And then I'm going to use this So Hungry Hippie zipper tape. This is number 5, 1 pull. And we're just going to knock this out so quick, you will never be at a loss for making a poolside style tote. All right, first up, let's go overhead and cut our pieces. Now I'm just going to make this one big piece. So I'm going to use this template and line it up on the vinyl so I make the least amount of cuts possible. Bring in my rotary. I will turn that in a moment. This is my Mod Squad TPU vinyl. Very easy to sew and cut. On the inside, it's sort of like raised. I don't know. I think it's really cool looking. Very 60s. Okay, now I'm going to spin this. Line it up again. And cut it down. There's one piece. And you can fussy cut if you want to. Go ahead, do your bad self all day long. I love using a template, don't you? Because then we don't have to measure. It's so nice sometimes to just ease off the pressure a bit, you know? I forgot I moved my garbage can. Okay. So we've got this and we've got this. This is all we need. 2 exterior pieces. And now we need some zipper tape. Now I'm going to cut it so I have some space on each end. I'm going to use a little fabric for zipper tabs. It's just easier to sew this way if you want to use zipper tabs. If you don't, do your thing. Absolutely, 100%. You're not wrong if you want to make this without zipper tabs. So then I'm going to bring over my zipper jig and use it to put on my pole. I love this tool. Boom, done. Now let's put on our zipper tabs. Let's see here, what scraps do I have sitting around? I'm just going to use this. You can make it blend and match. I like, do your thing. I don't really care. For me, I'm not that particular about my zipper tabs. I got more things to worry about. Okay, I'm doing little 2-inch squares here. Here are my zipper tabs. Now I'm going to go overhead and like usual, fold it to the center, make ends meet. You can press that with your iron. It's a little easier for it to hold in place. Some clips. Clip to hold her down. I've already got my pull on, so I can go ahead and do the other side at the same time. Oh, that one's not even there. I'm going to trim that up. All right, and I just catch both ends at the same time. Let's go to the machine. Here we are. Oops, I already had it on. I know the teeth look like metal, but they're nylon. This one slipped a little bit, so I like to check the underside, make sure I'm going to catch it when I'm sewing. And then once it's in there, I can take that clip out. All right. Bring it back over. Trim those zipper tapes down to the width of the tape. All right. Trying to do 2 things at once. Okay, let's get out our by Annie double-sided sticker tape. And you know how I like to use this to hold it in place? It's a tool. It helps. Might as well use the tools that help us. And I will put it on both edges. Here we are. Okay, so here is this. Bring over one piece of your exterior vinyl and peel off one edge of the double-sided sticky tape. Place that with matching that raw top edge of the vinyl, and then make sure it's placed right. I don't have this quite placed right. I need to move it down, which is fine. You can just peel it back up and then place it correctly. You want about a finger width space on each side edge. I've said this for about 10 years in my patterns because people don't think in terms of half inch, they think in finger widths. So use it to your advantage there. All right, let's sew this puppy down. Now, if you're having any issues with the vinyl sticking, you can always just wrap a Teflon sheet over this bed, but I don't even think I'm gonna have to use a special foot here. I'm just gonna start sewing. I'm gonna move the pull area back some at first. I have a 3mm stitch length. I'm getting up close to that pull, so I'm going to raise my foot, the needle is still down, and move it out of the way. If you have a zipper foot, you won't have to do that. All right, there's one side. Now we're going to sew down the other side. So put your other piece right side up on your work surface, and we're going to peel the tape off this side of the zipper. All right. And now place it centered. You want your side edges lining up, and again with the finger width of space and the top edge of the tape with the top edge of the vinyl, and stick it in place. And now we're going to sew. I'm getting close to where that zipper pull is, so what am I going to do? Needle down, lift my foot, and move the pull out of the way. All right. I'm going to add my straps later. I think I'm just going to add it later. I'll add them last because that's really, really simple to just add them last. Okay. Place these pieces right sides together. So I am placing the bag pieces right sides together, making sure everything is lined up. You can flip it if it helps to look at things on both sides. All right, the zipper is up top. We're gonna sew the sides and the bottom, but before we do that, make sure your zipper is open some. I'll just slide mine about halfway. because we're gonna flip it through the zipper. All right, let's sew. I'm not sewing over the zipper tabs. I'm sewing right beside them. That's the most important thing here. If you sew over the tabs, it's going to be all crunched and weird looking. Now, if your machine does not want to sew this, it just means you need to pop on your Teflon foot. For my Juki, a lot of times it'll sew vinyl without a Teflon foot. If your machine is not moving, you need to put on your Teflon foot. I can see mine is a little bit, yeah. I need to put on my Teflon foot. It'll just go better. So I'm gonna do that. And all it is this. And I need my little screwdriver. Yep, here it is. This might be good for you guys to see because it just takes a sec. There you go. And it's in. Make sure my needle is good. I always test it like this. And you don't need to crank this into oblivion. It just will get in there and situate. And coming up the side. Right here, I'm just going to smash this down and I'm sewing right beside the zipper tab, not over it. See that? There's the zipper tab. All right, let's go back overhead. Now I am going to do my boxed corners in just a second. I need to grab another template. I took my box corner template home. Let's do 2.5. That'll be a nice wide bag. It'll give us a 5-inch wide bag. Now I mark it like that. Come in here with my scissors, and here we go. And then if you want, you can use this over here, kind of like a template, and cut this side. All right, there's that. Now I'll take my hand inside the bag, match these bottom seams. You can always go over that again, but just be careful with going back and forth too many times on vinyl. It can perforate. So I like to just make it sit flat, put some clips here to hold it while I do the other side, and just gently coax each box corner seam, the side seam and the bottom seam, to match up without having to sew back and forth a bunch of times on those edges. Okay, now it's flat. We're going to sew straight across. Let's go over here. There's one boxed corner. Now we're going to do the other. All right. And back over here. It's done except for handles. We just have to put on our handles now. push out those bottom corners. This vinyl is so pliable, I just love it. Okay, there it is. You have to come up here to the top on the zipper tabs and you push these out with your thumb, just like as if it was fabric. It won't push out naturally. You have to push that zipper tab out. Now the bag is done, unless you want to top stitch your zipper, which you totally can. And let's add our straps. So I am going to do, should I sew it on or rivet it on? Maybe I should take them down lower. I don't know. Let's keep it simple. I cut one strap, and then I take that strap length and use it as a guide for my next cut for the second strap. And then I know they're exactly the same size. All right. Oh, I grabbed both at the same time. Okay, let's just sew it on. I think that'll be absolutely fine. I'm gonna take you overhead here. Now you do want to measure and mark where you're going. I can't tell you, I've probably made 100 of this style, so I know where I like the straps to hit, how it feels. You might want to clip them on and see if you like it or not. Let's see, I think let's bring this one in a smidge. Do I like that? Yeah, I think that'll be nice. All right, let's sew it down. Now, if you have trouble keeping your clips on, so here we are. I put double-sided sticky tape under here and pressed it down. So now if I take my clips off, it's still gonna hold in place. All right, let's go to the machine and I'll sew this down. You can do whichever way you want to do this. You can do an X, you can just do it a couple of times, once or twice, horizontal lines. It's whatever you want to do. I'm gonna move this. My needle is down. I lifted my foot. Now I don't have a cylinder arm, so sometimes I have to do things to make it work. I'm gonna reverse. See how I'm reversing? And then I'm gonna come up this side. That's not the best stitching I've ever done. Oh well. And I'm gonna come back across, but not on the white. I wanna be, since I have a dark thread in here, I'm gonna travel back down to the black stripe. There we go. And now I'll shoot across here one more time. Okay, now I'm gonna go to the other side. Oh no. Guess I didn't get this one taped as well as the other side. There we go. you can use a zigzag stitch there if you want to catch that raw edge of the seatbelt webbing, or cut it with pinking shears, or you can also just hit it with some fray check, which is what I'm gonna do. And fray check is like a glue, it won't fray afterwards. Hopefully I can get my cap off. I always do this. I forget to squeeze the air out, and then the air solidifies in the tube. They really need to give us a tube insert so that that doesn't happen in these little bottles. I mean, it is my fault, but wouldn't that be an improvement? It is really glued up in there. There, this is what I'm doing. There we go. Now I'm going to squeeze this so there's no air in there. Okay. And so I will just repeat that on the other side, and we will have a little poolside bag that we can just take to the pool and not worry about it getting wet. You will have to come in and press the bottom down and the corners out. Don't think it'll do it naturally, it won't. And then there we are. We have a cute little see-through bag. And you can make it any size. I usually make the large Santorini tote size because it's big enough for a beach towel and swimsuit and flip-flops, but it's up to you. You could even size this down and make it a stadium bag if you want. All right, I hope this tutorial helps. I can't wait to see yours. Peace up sewing.